Come on over, it's time for Tim Friend.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Tim Friend. As you may have noticed from the screen, we have just taken Fort Mercius. Leonie as our MVP, well deserved, as she is likely the MVP. At least when it comes to raw physical damage, Leonie's probably the MVP of our team. Like, Dimitri can get higher with atrocity and shit like that, but Leonie's got that fly above Dimitri. She's got that speed. Movement speed, I should say. Anyway. Your Highness, our capture of the fortress is complete. Now the path to the Imperial capital is finally open to us. Hope those voices didn't sound too similar. Once we've finished cleaning up after the battle, let's have another meeting to discuss our next move. We should have a victory celebration. Yeah, fucking party pilot. It would be one thing if we were at home or at the monastery, but to waste our resources like that here would be most... Pardon the interruption. We've just received a letter from Margrave Gautier. That's why Sylvain's standing around. Very well. I will read it at once. Yes, you should read it at once. I see. It seems the conflict within Fargus has at last come to an end. Yes, Your Highness. The Margrave and the other eastern lords are at the center of it, and are gathering the kingdom's military forces even now. They intend to join with the Alliance army and send troops and supplies to the monastery. What do you know? My old man's really pulling his weight. Did he seem well? Yes, as well as could be expected. He's taken upon himself to bring order back to our troubled territory while His Highness is away. I am truly in the Margrave's debt. I will be sure to thank him properly at first opportunity. Thank you for the information. Now tell me, did it seem to you that my presence was needed back at the monastery? Well, I do have a verbal message from the Margrave on the subject. A verbal message? How strange. The other day, he arrested one of Viscount Kleiman's men, and, well, the prisoner has claimed involvement in the tragedy of Dusker. He has implicated his lord as well. Go on. I was told they would be transporting this man to the monastery along with the troops and supplies. The Margrave said that regardless of the credibility of the man's testimony, how he should be dealt with was your decision alone, Your Highness. Very well. All that considered, I will return to the monastery at once. Will you come with me, Professor? Yes, I will. Thank you. Huh. We don't see the thing? Fort Mercius is intact? Interesting. I guess that only happens in Golden Deer. But it makes sense, like, the Death Knight wasn't bailing as he is in the Golden Deer. I don't know, it's like a fucking... like a... orbital laser beam, basically, is what those that slither in the dark have. The Kingdom Army has captured Fort Mercius, managing troops from the now stable Western Kingdom and former Alliance territory. The Kingdom Army returns to Garreg Mach to regroup and reorganize its forces. But yeah, those who slither in the dark have an orbital laser that they destroy Fort Mercius with in the Golden Deer route. With sufficient might to challenge the Empire, the Kingdom Army finalizes their plans to march on Enbar, the Imperial capital. But I guess maybe Edelgard doesn't have control of that. Maybe that's just those who slither in the dark. Because as they are different factions, and are those who slither in the dark just done now that Arundel is dead? Because he's absolutely part of it, right? Like, but who else is there? Have they now like disconnected from Edelgard? That would be interesting. I wish to know. I want to know these things. Oh, there you are. His Highness was looking for you. Where is he? I can just go to him, but where is he? He's gone ahead and started interrogating the prisoner, Viscount Kleiman's man. He said he'd like for you and I to be present as well. Will you come with me? Yes. Thank you for asking. I don't want to just be railroaded. I cannot overlook your reckless remarks. Are you really so keen to lose your head? I only did what I believed was right. I swear to the goddess that I'm not lying. Amidst the turmoil of the tragedy, Lady Patricia was supposed to be the only one who was unharmed. We had been given orders ahead of time to not approach her carriage. Was Patricia an accomplice? That sounds like it. Of course not. What would my stepmother have had to gain from such a... Perhaps Lady Patricia would have done anything to return to the Empire. To her husband and daughter. What exactly are you implying? For the past few months, I've been spying on lords who defected to the Empire in order to investigate rumors about Lady Patricia. Cornelia's words were true. The two of them, I am afraid they conspired together after all. Enough of this nonsense. You say she wished to return home? That isn't nearly enough reason to cause such a tragedy. I do not intend to imply that the two of them were solely responsible for the whole affair. There were likely nobles who opposed the king, or potentially someone who wanted to throw the kingdom into chaos. The Empire and people like Solon and Cronia had their motives too. So my stepmother joined with them to cause the tragedy. Is that what you believe? Ultimately, this is just conjecture based on the evidence at hand. I have no idea what their true intentions were. Alright. Well, it's a good thing we're all just inferring this instead of interrogating the prisoner. I see. We will hear what this man has to say. For now, my lord had long felt that King Lambert's radical ways were dangerous. At the time, he was approached with an offer to take part in the incident at Dusker. My lord loves his homeland. To me, he embodied justice. We were only doing what we thought was right. And so, in the name of justice, he caused massacre upon massacre out of love for his homeland. You murdered your own king, killed our soldiers, and involved innocent civilians. And yet you have the gall to speak of justice? I'm only standing before you now because I could no longer bear the weight of my sins. Did you share those feelings about your homeland? That's a weird way to say that, but okay. Yes, I believe I do. Gilbert, lock this man in his cell. Are you not going to kill him? I will make that decision once I've had time to consider this man's definition of justice. Yes, Your Highness. Wow. Dimitri taking other people's opinion of justice in the account. Really nailed that sentence. Felt like I really got that one nailed to the floor. ... Are you okay? Just straight up. You alright, Dimitri? No. I cannot say that I am. Tell me, Gerald. Tell me, Gerald. How well do you remember your father, Professor? Honestly, not very well. Don't remember a lot of stuff. I figured as much. Even the memory of those who pass away is taken from those they left behind. Little by little, year by year. To be honest, I cannot really remember my stepmother's... that woman's smile, nor the sound of her voice. I always told myself that I would not allow my mind to forget. Yet, all I can recall with clarity is her gazing away, so forlorn. Did my stepmother wish to go home so badly that she would kill father and me? Kill her false family? Home. To her own blood. Her true family. There's no way to know for sure, because she's gone. Or dead. I suppose it doesn't make any difference now. I'm asking you questions you could not possibly know the answer to. I am finished with thoughts like that. I'm finally able to go on living without clinging to hate. If I truly treasure those who have died, then I must earnestly atone for my sins. Father, Glenn, all of the soldiers who have fallen, the people of Dusker who still suffer persecution, the only atonement I can offer them now is to take responsibility for this broken kingdom that has been entrusted to me. Take responsibility for the kingdom? That is why I feel that I must meet with Edelgard and try to talk to her. Do you think it's a fool's errand? Honestly, I think so too. But I must swallow my feelings and grudges, our whole history, really, and ask her about this future that she sees. What she aims for once her domination is complete. What kind of justice she clings to as she fights. And why she felt it necessary to start this war. I believe that asking her these things is the true responsibility I've been tasked with as a king. How will you accomplish that? How are you going to convince her to parley with you? We will march our troops to the imperial capital. But before any battle begins, we will set up camp nearby and send a messenger. I will tell her that I need to speak with her in a safe place, without any weapons or troops. As to whether or not she will agree to my request, well, that rests solely on Edelgard. I'm certain she'll agree. You guys were school friends! I would like to believe that as well. You know, Professor, when we fought in Ferdiad, Cornelia mocked me and called me pitiful. Even if it is true that my stepmother never loved me, I am not to be pitied. After all, I have allies and dear friends who care for me. And now, I also have you by my side. Oh, Dimitri. You got me by your side and I got you by mine, buddy. If only we were doing anything that involved my tragic backstory in this storyline. But we ain't. What do we got? No big piles of fish? Good. Let's go exploring. Let's get these supports that we have. Oh, we only got a couple. We got a Dimitri and an Ingo finishing up. Let's see what this do. See what this ding-dong do. Aha, finally you score a point against me on the ground. You've improved, Ingrid. That was nothing more than a fluke. My technique was horribly sloppy that last round. Does not matter what sort of technique it was. You won. If this had been a real battle, I would have died. You wielded your lance well, without any hesitation. Has your approach changed? You may recall when I said I'm now able to move on. Because of you. I remember. What did you mean by it? That I finally understand a truth about Glenn. It sounds as though he died with a heavy heart. A heart that carried regret. I had suspected as much. But instead of acknowledging it, I twisted my memory of him to fit an ideal I've been upholding. I see. Your Highness, I will not sacrifice my life for anyone. But perhaps instead, I can live my life for someone. I will pledge my life to you. And how exactly am I meant to interpret that? However you please, Your Highness. Oh? Well then. Ingrid, when this is all over, I want you to support and defend me. As my knight. I've been thinking of telling you this for a long time. We get along well, you and I. Dimitri, you son of a bitch. As your knight? Yes. Yes, of course. Of course I will. I intended to do so for the sake of the kingdom. Together, Your Highness, you and I, our first order of business, putting this tragic war to an end. Yes, and while we're at it, do not die on me, Ingrid. Promise me that. Yes, Your Highness. I swear it on my lance. Ingrid, moving in on my dude. You get the hell out of here. You get the hell out of here, Ingrid. Ooh, Ash and Catherine. I think this finishes up Ash's supports as well. ... Wow, you've gotten much better. You're not doubting yourself anymore. It's like your state of mind is completely different. What changed? Can I tell you honestly? Please do. Hey, this is a chance to resolve our dispute and move on. As a knight, an ally, and even as a person, I know I can trust you. But somewhere in my heart, there's a part of me that can't forgive what you did. Of course, your brother's blood is on my hands. Wouldn't be easy for anyone in your position to feel forgiving. If someone said it was easy, I'd probably give him a smack in the face. You may never be able to forgive me, no matter how hard you try. I'm prepared to accept that. It's my duty. I admire your spirit, Catherine. Honestly, I do. I hope the part of me that's holding this grudge will get smaller with time. Maybe someday it'll vanish. That's rather poetic. Maybe, but I'm being serious. Sorry, I didn't mean to make light of it. No, it's all right. We should have talked like this much sooner. I feel like I can finally stop dwelling on the past and start looking forward to the future. I think meeting you has been good for me too. Different people have different morals. They won't always agree on what's right and what's wrong. What's white and what's wrong. But maybe that's obvious. But it's something I think about when I'm talking to you. Can I ask something of you? I'd like to get to know you better, Catherine. As a person, and as my friend. Sure, but I won't do all the talking. It'll be dull if you don't tell me about yourself, too. Me? It won't be very interesting for you, but okay. Okay, let's chat over a nice tasty meal. My treat. Christoph, Leonardo, watch over me, please. Hurry up, or I'll eat all the food. Coming. Oh, buddy. Oh, Ash. He's gonna kill Catherine. Right over lunch. It's a rough road to hoe. Oh, and this finishes up Ingrid as well with the Ingrid and Setef. Perfect. Setef, do you have a moment? Certainly. Have you arrived at a decision about what you would like your future to be? I think so. I was hoping I might ask for your opinion on the subject. I am flattered. Please proceed. I want to serve as a knight and protect my homeland. No shit, Ingrid. I know this, through and through. It has been my truth for as long as I can remember. However, I feel that I should choose a path that would benefit my father. I was raised by him in a happy home, never wanting for anything, despite my family's meager finances. I owe it to him to choose a path he'd approve of. If that is the Dakaisian you have reached after such careful deliberation, then I have no objections. But may I ask you something? Please, go ahead. Have you actually had a conversation with your father about this? I have not. There hasn't been time to pay him a visit. He did permit me to join this war, but I was brash about my departure. I left forcibly. In that case, it is all the more important that you speak to him. Perhaps. My father is an obstinate man. At this point, I'm not sure he'd care to hear what I have to say. He'd care to hear what I have to say. I do not know the man well, so perhaps it is not my place to judge ye. However, I do know what is like to fret constantly over one's family. If he is as doting a father as you say, then he will want to know how you truly feel. I do not think he will refuse your wishes if you share them with him honestly. Of course, if your Dakaisian remains the same after speaking with him, then so be it. Seteth, thank you. You're right. I should talk to him. I've spent so much time thinking about how stubborn he is that I've neglected to acknowledge my own part in all this. Rather than blaming him, I need to recognize how stubborn I myself have been. Maybe if I open up and allow for vulnerability, he will too. That is the way. Hold your head up high and straight forth into the unknown. I will, and I will keep your words close to my heart. Thank you for everything, Seteth. Well, that was nice. You should just talk to your family sometimes. For some things. Okay. One thing I want to do. Gosh. Roster? Would it be in roster? Yeah. I mean, sure, technically. Let's go to notes. Let's see. Right now, my closest ally is Annette, hilariously. Dimitri and me. Dedu and me. But also Dimitri and then Ash. Felix and Leonie still closest. Ash and Annette still closest. Sylvain and Ingrid still closest. Mercedes and Lawrence is gonna be a little bit down there. Gotta make sure they hang out more. Annette and Ash, very good. Ingrid and Sylvain, very good. Lawrence and Mercedes. Lawrence still has Mercedes. That's strong. Leonie and Felix, very good. Seteth and Ingrid now. How worrying. Maybe I should crank Manuela and Seteth? Interests. Protecting Flane. Very good. Flane and Dedu. Manuela and Flane. Eloise. Weird. I don't give a shit about Gilbert. I don't really give a shit about Eloise. Catherine and Shamir. I want them to have a paired ending, because obviously that's the most obvious ship in the book. Let's go to the greenhouse. We'll get our plants. And then we'll start acting on these supports. Vegemals. Plant some Vegemals, please. Cultivate them with poop. Magic special poop. Alright. So, it looked like most of it was fine, other than Mercedes and Lorenz. Mercedes and Lorenz, I want to get their paired ending, so I'm definitely going to have to pair them up at the dining hall. Who's got the sports? Dedu and Annette and Gilbert and Shamir. So I think it'll be Dedu and Annette in here. Because that's Annette's last support. Felix is done. Ash is done. Mercedes is done. Ingrid's done. Leonie's basically just got Seteth, Catherine, and Shamir. Seteth only has Leonie, Manuela, and Catherine. So I think we'll do Seteth and Manuela. Yeah, I want to see more of that shit. We got Manuela. Where's Seteth? There's the boy. There's the boy. Eat dinner. Have a nice time. Like each other. It would be cute. I like you two. Let's see. Demito and Annette. Yeah, got to do that, Demito and Annette. Wow, we're so low on Vegemals. That's not good. Demito at least tolerates this. But it should be fine. Because at least we've got everyone already at very high motivation. So it's less important. It's just about locking people's fucking supports in. I want to do and Flame. But where Dedu? Who Dedu need? Dedu need Annette, Gilbert, and Shamir. Let's do Dedu. Oh, wait. Who has Gilbert left? Dedu, Aloise, Demito. Let's have Gilbert and Aloise eat together. Yes, I believe that is the way. Fisherman's Bounty? Yeah, Fisherman's Bounty. They love eating 2 fish at the same time. They love that shit. They can't get enough. Eat it all up, you big beefy men. Scruffle it down. Ooh, it looks like that one triggered their final support. Delightful. Catherine and Sedeth, Catherine and Shamir, Catherine and Leonie. Let's do Catherine and Shamir. That's an obvious get, an obvious play. What do they even like? Do they like this? No, Shamir doesn't like that. Shamir just hates these fish dishes, right? Oh no, not entirely. Good enough for me. Eat and be merry. And then be married. My cute, badass ladies. Flame just needs Demito as well. But we can do that just by adjutanting her. Manuela and Seteth we already did. Leonie and Lorenz? No. Did we... Gotta do Mercedes and Lorenz. That's what we gotta fucking do. Mercedes and Lorenz. Nice. Gotta crank that support between the two of them. Gotta crank it up so that they see each other as best friends. As best allies. So we can make sure that they get their paired ending. Who is even left? Dedu. Who is left for Dedu? Supports, please. Deduo. Well, fucking no one now. So let's do Dedu and Flame. Fisherman's Bounty? Yeah, Fisherman's Bounty, baby. Eat that shit. You love it. Eat it all up. You nasty little kids. Eat all these fish. Everyone loves to eat fish, right? As I just fucking stalk around the halls of Garrigmock Monastery muttering to myself about fish. Yes, everyone loves to eat these fish. And I'll do a choir festival. We're gonna do Manuela and Sedeth. Yeah, just we can get that A support because I think they have a 2-layered A support. And we're getting close to the end of the episode as well. Let's see what we can do, if anything, with the statues. Got 300 points. That's Jack Dick. It's fucking Jack Dickelson. Can't do anything with those statues. Let's go back to the bedroom. I don't think we got any new quests. I think it's just, yeah, the supply run that we can't do. Alright. Well, I'm going to start smashing my way through these weeks in between episodes. And when we get back, we'll do a bunch of supports. Hopefully, that will be the entire thing is just a bunch of dialogue and supports. Because you probably don't want to see me putting points into shit the whole time and taking people to dinner. Alright, bye-bye, everybody.
With him friend.